Good afternoon. My name is Julia Ranson, and I'll be presenting my research paper titled Environmental Factors That Attribute to Adolescent Obesity. Today, we understand and know more about obesity than ever before, yet the number of children presenting it is on the rise. According to Caroline Apovian, author of the 2016 journal titled The Obesity Epidemic, 11% of kids in America are obese, and a fourth of all kids are overweight. Child obesity is higher than it ever has been before, and it presents many serious health problems for the future of the child. While some adolescent obesity cases result from a genetic disorder, 95% of other cases result from environmental factors like a poor diet and lack of physical exercise. This epidemic is very dangerous, and if developed, the child may grow up to have health problems like diabetes, heart complications, high cholesterol. And not only does it lead to health problems, it leads to mental and psychological problems like anxiety, depression, and emotional eating. Childhood obesity is an epidemic that needs to be faced fast, and parents as well as child care workers need to be aware of the environmental factors that cause this problem and what they do to stop and prevent it. Adolescent obesity is one of the main things we see in children today, and the effects can be far longer lasting than what we may think. The main cause can be argued, but overall many factors come into play. Two factors that seemingly go hand in hand is a low socioeconomic status and poor food choices. Along with poor food choices comes a lack of physical exercise. In today's age, children have far more choices of what they would want to do when they get bored. Children can go online, play video games, go on media, text their friends. According to the CDC article in 2018 titled Staff Involvement, 21.6% of children aged 6 to 19 years old only get the recommended 60 minutes of exercise a day. A lack of physical exercise and eating in excess of unhealthy foods leads to obesity. At a young age, children who display obesity can start to develop problems that normally do not arise until adulthood. The CDC also says that alongside children developing adult-like health problems, they may also develop psychological problems that are normally not diagnosed in children. These psychological problems like anxiety and depression may be a result of bad self-image, and in return can lead to emotional eating, creating an endless cycle of destruction to the body. By Ann Arbor, writer of the 2018 University of Michigan article titled Stress Eating Can Start in Early Childhood, says that children begin to stress eat as young as 4 years old, and stress eating has been linked to obesity in young kids. It is caused by a stressful factor in the child's life, like a chaotic home. A chaotic home can be prevalent if the child is in a household with lots of other people, if there's disruptive behavior, if there's a lack of boundaries, or if that child has no structure. Another factor which can contribute to emotional eating is worrying about the next time that child may have food. This often will be in impoverished households. The child finally receives food but does not know when that next time will be, so they overeat in fear of not eating again. Anne also points out that children growing up in low-income housing tend to overeat more when not hungry versus children who are not in low-income houses. She also found that children living in low-income families are more likely to be obese than children who do not. This is because parents of low income often do not feel they have the money to buy healthier food options, so the children often are fed fast food or foods that are not nutrient dense. Eating Healthy, Marge Dwyer, writer of the Harvard School of Health article, Eating Healthy versus Unhealthy. Eating healthy costs about $1.50 more per day, and yearly that's around $550. Now, my visual aid that I came up with, what I decided to do, I'm sorry if it's a little dark, I decided to compare a healthy meal and an unhealthy meal at McDonald's. I wanted to show that even in an unhealthy situation, you can make healthier choices. For my healthier meal, I have a yogurt parfait and a hamburger. Now, the total cost came out to $2. The total amount of calories came out to 400. In my unhealthy meal, I have an Oreo McFlurry, I have a 10-piece chicken nugget, and I have a medium-sized Coke. The total cost came out to $8.20, and it came out to 950 calories. For one meal for a child, that is way too many calories. But I did want to show that there are healthier choices in unhealthy situations. Have not yet to factors that contribute to emotional eating. One of them is bullying, which we see a lot in schools. Bullying can start as young as 2 years old, and at this age, it can be considered very aggressive because kids have not yet developed a sense of what they are saying. Kids at school who are overweight can also become an easy target for bullies, and bullying a child who is overweight can start or even worsen emotional eating. Being bullied can also cause kids to want to stay away from school, like the activities, clubs, and sports. And a lack of sports or clubs, like optional field day, can create a habit of a sedentary lifestyle. Today, kids are more sedentary in and outside of school. They're offered so many more new options of entertainment that do not involve any physical exercise, but rather involve staring at a screen for hours. By reducing one sedentary behavior a day, physical activity is likely to increase. Children spend most of their childhood in school and in the home. And this is why it is so important to have physical exercise at school, because some families of lower socioeconomic status do not have the resources for their child to be playing outside. Some families do not have basketball courts or parks or even sidewalks that make it safe for the child to be outside. Physical exercise can be incorporated into the school system in all different ways, and it does not have to take up a large time of academics. The fact of the matter is that 24 states do not have any physical exercise policies, and most schools only have 20 minutes of mandatory recess time. That's only a third of the recommended time daily for physical exercise among kids. 80% states in the 2018 article titled "Stress Eating Can Start in Early Childhood" states that 80% of children do not have enough physical activity to produce any positive lasting effects. Olivia Rudgard, writer of the 2019 Telegraph article titled "School Scrap PE Time," says that one of the reasons PE time is being cut is because academic studies are seen as more important. Yet extra time studying and less time exercising may not be as beneficial as schools may think, because a lack of exercise can lead to serious mental and physical health problems. Schools are working on bringing PE back into the school system, but as well as that, they're also working on making better nutritional changes and trying to educate the students on what is bad. Have started implementing educational courses on food to educate students on what is healthy and what is not. Some kids may not have much freedom in the kitchen at home, but when it comes to lunchtime at school, a lot of students get to make their own choices on what they want to eat. And understanding the importance of food and how it affects our body is very important to learn at a young age, because it sets them up for the future. Dean Dudley, writer of the 2015 journal titled "Teaching Approaches and Strategies That Promote Healthy Eating," says only 7% of 2 through 11-year-olds ate the recommended 2 servings of fruit and 3 servings of vegetables a day. He also points out that some schools have come up with fun ideas like planting a school garden so that students are aware of where their food is actually coming from and the importance this food provides for our bodies. Students can also join in on this activity, like actually helping to plant these plants and how to learn to keep up the garden. Obesity in kids can be prevented, and kids who are already diagnosed with obesity can take back their health. Children and the parents need to be committed to changing 2 main factors: diet and physical activity. At home, parents need to take the lead and do what's best for their child, like limiting their downtime and watching their food intake. A way parents can increase their child's physical activity each day is cutting down on media. Parents as well as children need to be patient with the process, because losing weight is not something that's going to happen overnight. But the importance of losing the weight is to ensure the child will have a healthy adulthood and that the habits created during this process can be carried on into adulthood, like making smarter food choices and exercising daily. Another importance of reducing obesity is trying to prevent any other health problems that typically arise with childhood obesity, like diabetes and high cholesterol. Obesity among children is a rising epidemic here in America, and no one or nothing is more responsible than the people themselves. But it can be reversed and prevented by caring for children and teaching them to make smarter food choices and lifestyle changes. Thank you.